Happy Friday, beautiful souls. This is Shamama Hunting Owl with a new message for the next few days, for the energies, for the twin flames, and really the collective as a whole. There are people who are in the awakening process that aren't twin flames, so I feel like some of this will impact them also. I want to start by thanking everybody for subscribing, liking, sharing my YouTube channel and my Shamama Hunting Owl Facebook page. I really appreciate it. Anybody who hasn't subscribed yet, while you're watching this video, just click the subscribe button and the little notification button. So this way, when I decide to make videos, you'll get notified right away. But I appreciate all of your support always, and I love you guys so much. I wanted to start by talking about triggers, just briefly, very briefly. Triggers have such a negative connotation. We always use statements like, my twin triggered me. But there's more to it. It's about a learning process. And I got up this morning with this, and I'm not religious by any means. And I know people don't like when I, use Bible quotes and things like that, but I woke with the Bible quote this morning in my head. And I feel like it really, truly explains what the triggers are about and the learning process is about. So it's actually the book of John, chapter 15, lines 1 through 3. And it says, I am the true vine, and the Father is the gardener. He cuts every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. And I sat there with this quote, and I'm like, why am I hearing this? Like, why is this Bible verse important? And then I realized, I said, this is really about our triggers. This is about, honestly and truthfully, the purpose of our triggers coming up. It's the divine's job to create chaos in our lives, and it's also the divine's job to bring order to that chaos. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my phone, guys. Oh, and it's 11:11. Look at that. Yay. How cool. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I love you, angels. I love you, babe. Thank you for the messages always. Okay, back on track. So it's the divine's job to create chaos, and it's also the divine's job to bring order to that chaos. Because there are things that have to be learned. There are changes that have to be made. And understanding that these are to our highest benefit, ultimately. Even though while we're going through them, they're painful. They suck. Quite frankly, it sucks when we're going through it, because it hurts, because it tears us up inside. But there's good reason for that. It's like, pruning the vine, getting rid of the old parts of us that aren't worthwhile, aren't good for our higher, greatest good. And then trimming the areas that will grow the most fruit, so they blossom even better. I know, like, I keep seeing like a picture of a bonsai tree, and I know, like, some people may be familiar with them, I don't know, but those things take a lot of care and a lot of work and a lot of energy, and to shape them and prune them and make them beautiful. Well, that's us. That's what we're going through right now. I feel like through all of this chaos that we've been through, that honestly, like, my guide, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is reassuring us that we have truly been through the worst part of this process. The most difficult part of the process is now behind us. This is all about preparing ourselves, getting ourselves ready to take this huge move forward. And it's giving us, like, this more stable footing, this it's like pouring a concrete slab and building on top of that. you know, it's all of these triggers, all of this stuff that we are going through is for our highest, greatest good. It's to build a firm, solid foundation on what is happening in our world, so we can move into our divine missions and into our unions, but into our divine missions, into our divine selves. So I hope that makes sense. I think that makes sense, right, guys? And it will. I'm sure it will. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so to the reading. This week. The reading. Okay, so what did I use? I used the Rider-Waite Tarot. And this is like one of my favorites. This deck I've had since I'm like 14 years old. So that's like a really, 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 really long time, you guys. Anyway, and then I used the Mythical Goddess Tarot. And then I used the Energy Oracle for clarifiers. I did split the reading this week into the masculine and the feminine. Then we have some cards in the middle that talk about sort of what we're going through, and then some messages on what we can do sort of to kind of stabilize ourselves, let's say. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Divine Masculine. And the Divine Masculine, first card is the Knight of Wands, okay? And the Knight of Wands is about passion, it's about emotion, it's about 3D growth. To me, the most important thing about this card is this knight is charging full steam ahead. He is right now in the barren desert. And I feel like that this is where our Divine Masculine is in their lives. They are finally seeing that, oops, shoot, I'm knocking stuff over. Sorry, guys. They are truly seeing that how they've been living, the terrain that they've been on is fruitless. There is nothing on those branches to support them in this world. However, they have this one wand, this one rod, which is their divine feminine, who gives them life, who gives them this motivation, this drive to keep moving forward. You know, and as we know that this wand is like the Ace of Wands wand, which is God, the divine, has delivered them this wand, which is us, the divine feminine. And they are ready to start moving forward. They're taking these action steps. And they're doing it very willingly. And they're doing it, you know, a lot of, you know, the colors in the card, the orange and the yellow, the solar plexus chakra and the sacral chakra, you know, they're doing this from this creative, passionate place. But they're also doing it for themselves, for their I am, their own willpower, their own knowing of there's something better out there for them. And if they just stepped into their own will, they could move through this barren desert. With that, I got, as a clarifying card, the man holding the coin. And this again, you know, we've got a wand and we've got a coin. These are the 3D world things. This is, you know, earthly possessions, desires, you know, stability, the pentacle. They're getting their stuff in order. They're holding on. You know, again, he's got one coin, he's got the one rod. He's holding on to that emotion, to that 3D attachment to their divine feminine. You know, this is less about money and more about this attachment. I feel like he's holding on to this wand, he's holding on to this coin. These are his 3D attachments to the feminine in the world that he's in right now. So as he moves through this barren desert, the next card we got is the Eight of Wands. And again, wands, fast moving energy. I feel like, you know, if you watched the last video I did about Mars squaring Saturn, you know, there's been some resistance. There's been almost like this pause on the Ferris wheel, where, you know, we feel like we're ready to move ahead, but we keep meeting this resistance. As this energy, this Mars-Saturn squaring thing starts to dissipate, the energy is going to start flying again. The Ferris wheel is going to become unstuck. We're not just going to be going around in circles anymore. We're actually going to be making forward progression. You know, I feel like what else people don't realize is that, you know, in this quote unquote resistance, in this stillness that we've sort of felt, or the staleness, like the stalemate, that just like nothing's moving, things actually are moving. Sometimes you need to stop in order to make motion happen again. Sometimes you even need to take a couple steps back in order to project you further. So don't see it as being stuck. Just see it as a lull in the action, but things are still happening. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So as our Divine Masculine moves through his Knight of Wands, through his desert, and this energy starts to pick up for his motion, he comes into the place of the Sun, Major Arcana card. I love this, in which he can be carefree and childlike and honor himself, basking in all the warmth and love. You know, truly, I feel like this is a card of, and again, there's a lot of yellow and a lot of orange in this card, you know, and purity. You know, the white horse stands for purity. There is true purity in the heart of the Divine Masculine, and they are coming into their own. You know, it takes a long time to be able to embrace who we truly are, where we're truly at, you know, facing the things that, well, you know, for 40 some years, plus years, you know, I was stuck in a place of always doing what I was raised to do, you know, conform to these patterns and things in my life that I was told, this is the right way to be. This is how you're supposed to be. This is what a wife should be. This is what a girlfriend should be. This is what a mother should be. This is what, you know, a professional woman should be. You know what? It's not about what everybody else says we should be. It's about us being who we want to be, in our purity, in our own power, and and embracing it and having fun with it, not being shoved into these molds all the time. And this is what the Divine Masculine is taking this horse and moving out of the desert and taking this fast moving energy and moving into right now. So I love that for the Divine Masculine. So go guys, go ladies, Divine Masculine, yay, love you guys all. Okay, Divine Feminine now. Not a bad reading at all. So we're going to start with the Two of Pentacles. And again, Pentacles, 3D stuff. But really what this card is telling me is you're trying to balance a lot of stuff. And you're trying to do it in the oddest way. Because like this dude, if you want to keep things balanced, stand on both your feet. Don't try to do it like an acrobat and stand on one foot. It makes it that much harder. And this is going to play into the next couple cards in the reading. But of course, we always have the infinity symbol, which is, you know, our connection, which is about, you know, things coming together and moving apart. Things coming together and moving apart. This is the twin journey. We come together, we move apart. We come together with our masculine and we move apart. Because we don't need to be attached all the time. We have our own things to do. But when we come together, it's beautiful. But yeah, so this is really Divine Feminine. You know, I love you guys, and I know you're tired, and I know it's hard, but you're making things harder on yourselves. You're trying to balance on one foot when you've got 2 feet that will give you a stable, firm foundation. Use them. I also feel like in the next card that came out with that is, I'm looking at numbers. We got a few 8s. Anyway, okay, wait. So I feel like that part of what we're balancing is this indecision. And the Divine Feminine is trying to pick which direction to go. I think they're having trouble deciding if they want to stay committed to the journey with the union or if they want to go on their own. I'm feeling like they're, you know, the red coat points to me as they're not feeling secure and secure. Root chakra stuff, security, basic survival stuff. They're feeling like we've been through this journey a really long time. we're not seeing the movement we had hoped for. We're not seeing the stuff we expected. Expectations, not a good thing. But nonetheless, we're human, and yes, we have expectations at times. That's part of the triggers and pruning those dead branches off of our vine. But the divine feminine needs to realize is they don't actually have to pick which way to go. They need to have faith, because they will be guided which direction they should be moving. You don't need to take this action. You don't need to move forward on your own with your own will. You need to move forward as divinely guided by source, by your guides. You know the twin flame story. I go back to this all the time. We start doubting, we start to get confused, and I go back to this because we know what we're told. We know what's been quote unquote promised. We know the final score of the football game. We've been given all of that information. Just because during the game, down to maybe the very last second, it looks like we're losing, doesn't mean we're going to lose. We know how this turns out. So there's really no decision to be made other than just continue moving ahead. Do what you're divinely guided to do and stay faithful to the path that you're on. The next card for the divine feminine, this is what plays into this next, is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, to me, in this card, he's got the two pillars, he's got the two people in front of him, he's got the two keys. To me, this is God. This is the divine. This is the twins. This is us needing to have solid faith. Truly surrender everything to being faithful to God, source, divine, and trusting in that faith, because it's on that faith that solid concrete foundation can be built. It's not on this balancing act that we're trying to do. Through having faith, this indecision will go away. We will hear our higher voices. We will hear our inner truth. And we can make our motions, our movements appropriately. But it comes from faith. It comes from a higher authority. I feel like the Hierophant is like the authority. Well, this is the higher authority. And the clarifying card I got with the Hierophant is the door to spirit. So here you go. Believe, have this faith, and the door to spirit opens, and it opens widely. And all the little, everything that flows in through the door of spirit is your guides, God's love, your messages, everything that you've been wanting and needing to hear that we kind of forget about sometimes because we get bogged down with trying to balance everything and with trying to make decisions on our own. When we forget, we have to turn to one place and one place only. The divine, the Father, universe, source, whatever you want to call it, the cosmic energy that controls all or guides all. Open that door to spirit, let it flow, let everything come to you the way it needs to. So next card we have for the divine feminine is the Six of Wands, another Wands. We have no swords in this reading. I love that, you guys. Well, the indecision is a little bit like a sword, but it's not a big sword, so it's just like a baby sword. It's like the Two of Swords, kind of, sort of, which is just like a picking of roads. Anyway, whatever. I digress. Okay, so Six of Wands is the victory card, okay? This is getting on your horse and coming home to be celebrated. And what I feel and see, again, we're on a white horse, okay? So it's the purity. It's driving home purity and victory. It's if you can, put both feet solid on the ground. Put all your faith in the divine and let the door to spirit open. You will find the victory that you're looking for. It's there. You just have to see it. So that plays into the next part of the reading, you guys, which is basically just what we've been going through the past couple weeks, past couple years, blah, 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 on this whole journey. But I feel like it's really intensified for some people right now. And that is, the first card is Pele, the Purifier. And to me, you know, I see like this beautiful sacred heart burning inside of her. And this beautiful wreath. Oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. But I feel like this is us and the masculine. We've been through the fire. We are still, some of us, going through the fire. I understand that. But it leads to purification, okay? Purity. This fire, these triggers, these experiences that we've been going through are leading to our purity, are cleansing us in such ways and clearing our emotions so we can be so genuine and so sincere. And again, there's these stars, which are like the door to spirit. You know, it's about cleansing our emotions, healing all of the stuff that we've carried, the rejection, the abandonment, the lack of worthiness, oh God, it just goes on and on and on, you guys, the stuff that we've been programmed with from this life, from past lives. And that's why the fire has had to be so intense, because that's some deep stuff that we've had to burn off, that has had to be pruned off of our vine in order for us to get to our purest form of unconditional love. Love with no expectations. Love with no conditions. Love for everyone. Everyone. No anger, no resentment, no victimhood, no martyrdom, no more blame. Being able to fully accept responsibility for our conditions, our experiences. And getting to this place of complete purity where there's just basically nothing left but sincerity and generosity and compassion and true love. So that leads us to the next card, which is the final process of this purification and purity, and which is ascension. You know, and this ascension card is so lovely because, you know, to me it's like, here's her third eye, you know, lit up, and her physical eyes are like pouring, like she finally sees the messages, the light, the beauty of the journey. And this is for the masculine and the feminine. You know, we're getting to this place where we can finally be surrounded in the beauty of every step of the pain. You know, you have to have the light and the dark of the experience. You can't experience pleasure without knowing pain. We are going through all of our pains in order to get to this place of higher, greater ascension. Okay, so the next cards, you guys. Oh, well, okay, nope, and there's one more. Sorry. And that is leading us to, of ascension, is to success. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know, this is, as we ascend, as we purify, everything comes to us as promised. This is our pot of gold, you guys. Okay, it's there. It's there as we get purified, as we go through these fires in our hearts, as we, you know, cleanse these parts of ourselves, as we ascend. Success is there. It will all manifest in the 3D for us. So with that, between the twins for union, and these are sort of just, I feel like they're kind of recommendation cards, and I know you guys are going to hate the first card because you're tired, and I know that. But it's the patience card, you guys. and really and honestly and truthfully, you know, I mean, the divine is telling us, be patient. You know, these are your angels. They got everything. They got it taken care of. Breathe. Let it happen. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your experience now for yourself. Do the things you need to do in your own world. You know, clean out your house. You know, back like 6-8 months ago, I think it was, like we talked about this, like starting to purge stuff. I can tell you, I did it then. My house is a mess again. It needs to be purged again after the holidays and everything. So use this time and have patience with the divine, with your masculine. Masculines, have patience with your feminines. You know, we need to learn patience. Use this time of peacefulness to do the things you need to do for yourself, and clearing your space, and honoring yourself, and loving yourself. So the next card with the things that we need to do is have a little more appreciation. And a lot of us can be in this place of appreciation most of the time. You know, she's holding this beautiful red flower. She's got this white scarf thing, looks like, in her hands, like a hanky in her other hand. You know, again, this stands for purity. This stands for passion. Appreciate the things that are around you. Appreciate every moment of the now. This to me is like appreciation is like staying in the now, staying in this current moment, even if it's a painful moment, finding peace. Finding peace in the pain, in being able to release it. Like, we hold ourselves to such a high standard of, you know, stress and this and that, and all we need to do is release it. Because stress comes from worrying about things in the future. Depression and sadness comes from worrying about things in the past. But if you're in the now moment and just appreciating the now, it's a beautiful, peaceful place. You know, you can be in your divine love and your purity and your sincerity. So with all of this, and again, this is kind of like a repeat, comes this blossoming abundance. Again, it's kind of like, you know, this success. You know, everything is going to grow. There's tremendous amounts of abundance coming our way. But you have to have patience and you have to appreciate. Because if you don't have appreciation and you don't have patience, this abundance, it's going to take forever. So, and you're just going to burn more time, and people are going to get sad. And we don't want that. We want our abundance. It's time to manifest. 2017 is all about manifesting and all of these amazing, beautiful things that we've been working so hard for to finally come to us. So embrace that abundance by appreciating and having patience. Now, the last card that goes with this blossoming abundance, and now we had the pot of gold, you know, we've got the money success, and we know we're having all this blossoming abundance, but here's the other piece. And this is about the caring connections, guys. Divine masculine, divine feminine, in full embrace. I mean, like, he is there with her. He loves her. She knows it. They love each other. There is this beautiful caring connection between us. We are them. They are us. There is no escaping the connection. No matter how hard we try, we are constantly drawn back to each other. And even if you don't see it in your masculine right now, divine feminines, you're on their mind. You're under their skin. It's just the way it is. They think about us all the time. We are there with them. They feel us. You know, part of this whole thing that's happening with this energy that I talked about for this weekend, the divine masculine is coming to a place of really understanding who we are to them. And that we are that rod, you know, we are that guiding force to get them out of that barren desert. They are in this place of coming to that realization now, like really now. Now, they may not admit it to you yet, but they're admitting it to themselves. And that's a huge step for them. So know that these caring connections are there. They can't escape it. You know, they can try all they might, but they're not going to get away. So, yeah, beautiful reading for this week, you guys. Wow. Okay, so I want to thank you all for everything. Comments, questions, emails, everything. You guys are so amazing. Scheduling sessions with me, healings, readings, you know, allowing me to be part of your world, sharing your innermost personal things with me. You guys are great, and you really all deserve like huge amount of applause and kudos. The journey's been long, but we're almost there, you guys. So keep the faith. Say a prayer. Say a lot of prayers. Be thankful. And yeah, so I am sending you all so much. Oh, if you want a reading or a session with me privately, it's shamamahuntingowl.com, all one word. You can go there. All the information on how to book the sessions and everything is right there. And yeah, and that's it. So I am sending you guys so much love and light, blessing and gratitude always, beautiful souls. I love you so much. Have a great week. We'll talk soon. Mwah. Bye, guys.